Hello YouTube, welcome to episode 2 of our ATM10 To The Sky series. Today we're covering quite a bit, a little bit of create, a little bit of electricity, a little bit of auto sieving, and a few other extra things. With that being said, let's get it. Alright, so we are pretty much hitting the floor running with this episode. I've decided that the middle island, I wanted to clear it up a little bit, make this like our center area, and then have separate islands for specific machines and stuff. So I'm just clearing all this stuff out. I'm going to move the water, going to move the crucible, the lava farm, and then we're also going to move the stone block generator somewhere else. I'm thinking everything will have its own little island. I've come up with a little contraption in creative mode on my test world. And I actually like how it came out, so I'm going to be building that later and then we can check that out. But for now, we're just going to move all this stuff over. In my head, I've planned that we are going to do a little island for create mods, and then we're going to do a little island for what I have in mind basically is kind of like a stone block generator feeding into a crucible that will go on top of the stone block generator, and then basically our magmatic generator above the crucible, and then the lava is going to feed into that. It's like a really cool little compact machine. It's not the greatest in terms of power generation considering it's only a 1x magmatic gen, but we don't have a lot of power requirements. In fact, we have none, so it's not too bad for now. We are going to upgrade it to the 8x in the future. I'm thinking we can make it modular where we put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1x's, and then once we get our final 8th one, we can just combine that to make an 8x. And then we'll repeat that for when we get the 64x. So now I'm just doing a little bit of a border around here. I like how that looks. I think we're going to carry this design out throughout the entire island. I do know that there is a mod in, I think it's Osnovo, where you can feed its source and then you create islands, which is super handy, but that's a little bit later. I'm not too well versed in Osnovo, so once we do figure that out, it's probably going to take some time to really get it going, but it'll be very cool because you can like spawn custom islands and it's not too shabby in my opinion. So we're just clearing this up. I think what we'll do is we'll just grab everything and just put everything into chests for now. Yeah, and then we'll see how it goes from there. I would like to know from you guys that are watching these videos, do you find the 100 days format preferable over the format of, you know, episodic let's play videos? I myself, I enjoy the let's plays because I find that there's more content in them and things are broken down a little bit more. Something I've noticed with other creators is that they do 100-day videos and they trim a lot of the fat down. So obviously it's like a consumable video, unless they do like a full movie, it's like 4 to 6 hours. I can't see myself putting 100 days into like 1 hour. So if I ever do release a 100-day video, it's going to be like everything. But we'll see. We'll see. So now I've got the island set up here and I've created a little construction stick. If you guys aren't familiar with this, it's a very, very handy tool. It basically uses the items in your inventory to place in rows like this. It is pretty limited in how you can place items, unless there is a better way and I just don't know about it. But for now, that's pretty much all I know. I think this is where I have my face off with the little munchkin, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think I placed a double slab when I spawned this bad boy. I don't know why I was freaking out so much. While I was fighting him, I didn't notice it here, but my axe broke there and I'm still swinging at him, trying to figure out why the little dude isn't dying, and that is my first death of the video. Quite embarrassing that it was to a baby zombie, but this little guy has ended a lot of playthroughs. I've seen tons of videos of baby zombies killing people and them losing their hardcore wars to it, so this is why we don't play on hardcore, fellas. It's just not good. Anyway, goodbye axe. We won't be needing you. And yeah, I think sleep is probably the best move here. I can't take any more chances. I just lost a lot of levels from that. In fact, I'm a little bit jaded, so I think I push this spider off. Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming. Don't come again. Bye bye. Right, so now we can finish off our little platform here. So for now, the style of this is just going to be platforms like this, and then wrapped in a little bit of spruce wood, which I'll do now. That looks quite nice, I think. There we go. It's nice to have like a consistent style for now. Things will get pretty... I'm not the greatest builder, but I do make sure that like the stuff looks visually appealing, even if it isn't right now. I'll spend like an episode later down the line just trying to make things look a little cute, you know. For now though, we are going to get started with some of the stuff we need for creates. So we're going to squish some zinc here, get some more zinc ore. We're going to pop that in the furnace, and then we'll get the casings ready. Always enjoy this. I don't know, something about putting the, what is it called, the alloy? Yeah, putting the alloy on the stripped logs is super satisfying. Again, shout out to the alt mine, so good. Anyway, so you take your little nuggets, take your andesite, pop it in like that, and you get your alloy. Then you can just pop the alloy on. Listen to that. It's so satisfying, man. I love that. I love this so much. Cool. And that's pretty much all the casing we'll need for our small little project. So I'm just going to craft, I think we'll do shafts, and then after that we can get started with the mechanical press. I think I realize here that the mechanical press actually takes a lot of iron, and I keep forgetting that. So we're just going to get some iron whipped together. There we go. That is a ton of iron, probably more than we need. And this rain is super loud. I'm probably going to have to put that down. Cool. So also got a little bit of gold. Throw that together. I think while I wait for the stuff to smelt, I figured I'd make one of the most important things in this game. Sophisticated storage. And dude, this mod is insane. You can upgrade your chests from regular chests all the way up to netherite chests, and the amount of stuff these things can store is insane. So it's a pretty simple crafting recipe. Just pop it down like that, and then with the extra gold we smelted, we can just make a few more meshes. I think this is where I started testing the mesh out, and I got ganked by like 3 zombies. And I swear I'm not normally this bad at Minecraft, but every time I've run into a mob, they've caught me lacking with like no tools. So I did end up dying, not once, but twice. Yeah, so that was awkward. Anyway, I finished these guys off with a piece of flint. I think that one almost tried to pick up my hammer. That could have been really bad. Anyway, so we're just gonna sleep here, get the rain away, and then take care of those mobs that are still there. I think it's a creeper and a skelly, and now we've actually got a weapon, so we're gonna handle these boys. See you later, Mr. Creeper, and you, Mr. Skelly. Enjoy the void. Say hi to my axe for me. Yeah, and to just make sure that doesn't happen again, I pop some torches down. You know, I actually think I should install that mod where you get light overlays just to see where it's safe or not, but I'll worry about that later. Anyway, so there's the rest of our gold and iron. Got quite a bit of it, so now we can actually craft the mechanical press. There we go. And then I think we'll also do a deployer. I know you don't need it, but I like using a deployer with a press. And then we'll do the other chests. I think we'll upgrade these fully, just so we can sort out our storage situation, because at the moment we've got everything everywhere and it's just not great. And the cool thing about these is, and I think I realized it here after starting to transfer some of the stuff over, is that with the storage mods, you'll see on the top left of the chest, there's a little area for upgrades. So yeah, I just started looking for the stack upgrade, which is amazing. So what you do is it has different tiers, and when you pop these onto the chests, you get cool stacks where it can go over 64, and it can go quite high. I think I go for the tier 1, maybe the tier 2. I think the iron one is where I stop. It gets quite expensive for these upgrades, but basically this allows you to store up to 256 items in one slot, and obviously that has awesome repercussions. I pretty much fit, I think, 8 or 10 double chests full of items, and I transferred over into one singular chest, which is incredibly OP. I see a lot of people with the all the mods 10, what they do is they kind of just, I think they do either Ors Nouveau or simple storage mod. I'm not the biggest fan of them, so I pretty much just store all my stuff in these chests like this until I get to the point where I can start using advanced was it AE? AE? Applied Energetics. That's it. energetics. I'm not too sure about the name, but basically that's what I use, and I find that to be pretty handy. Anyway, so there we got our create water wheels just as our power source for now. Like I said, we're not building anything super complicated. I do think I went to go eat and I forgot to click resume on the recording, so I'm just going to show you my replay mod recording. Just added some gear ratios and some encased chain drives just to power everything. This is as fast as I could get it with 5 water wheels. As people familiar with Create will know, there's like a stress unit system, and if you tap it out with too much like speed or too many contraptions, then it tends to get a little bit slow. But there we go, we've got a press that works. And then I also put down a windmill bearing with some wool on top. For those who don't know, technically you could just use a regular bearing, but the windmill bearing is far slower, but it requires no wheels or anything. It operates on its own, so that's what I went with. We didn't need something super fast, just something super basic. And then here I got some electrode tubes, something like that. Can't remember the name of it, but basically just some of that. And then I got some brass mixed up to make a hand, a deployer. And then once we got the deployer fully going, got the recipe wrong there. There you go. Once we get the deployer going, then our automatic tree farm will be good to go. Alright, so that needs plates, so I'll let the brass cook while I sleep, and then when I wake up, I'll just grab that brass, get it squished. I missed one. You need 4, not 3, buddy. Thank you. Righto, and that's pretty much it. So you get a brass hand, make the deployer. And the way this works is you just attach it to your contraption like so. You can give it some saplings. And once you feed it a sapling, put some in its hand there. And then if you activate the machine, it spins and it places spruce saplings as it goes, which is amazing. Just make sure you, of course, glue it all together, else it will move without it, which won't work. Which you'll figure out the hard way, as most people do with Create. Anyway, so that's the automatic tree farm. We'll just let that run in the background. It's going to collect some spruce for us. The rate that we got it going at, we won't get a lot of wood from it, but that's okay. So trying to copy the design here, I'm going to go with stone for this because, you know, I have a fear of my wood catching on fire, as most people do, I think. Anyway, so we'll just get this filled out real quick. I'll speed it up for you guys so we don't have to watch me build the 3rd circle of this series. And here comes our construction stick, super handy. And our platform is good to go, right? Super convenient. Yeah, I'm just making some steel dust so that we have steel. That'll be very important later down the line when we want to start making cables and pipes from mechanism. And we'll upgrade our furnace while we're at it because these cook times are killing me. And the reason why I go for mechanism pipes is just because I love mechanism as a mod. I think the pipes are also very intuitive to use. I do know there's a bunch of pipe mods that are cheaper and that don't take steel, but steel's fairly easy to make early game. I don't know if people are aware of that. You don't need any special machines or anything. Just a hammer and some coal and iron. We'll also do one more upgrade, gold to diamond, and now we have 1 furnace at least. That's half decent. Now we can grab our quest reward for getting into chapter 2, which is the basic energy cube, and that will be where we store our energy for now. So we can start with our little contraption. There we go, a little stone block generator, and then we'll put lava on both sides of this to make netherrack. For those wondering why we are using netherrack instead of cobblestone for our lava gen is because netherrack smelts slightly faster than cobble. If you didn't know, now you know. So just pop a chest on top there, cover the lava up, and that looks good to me. Right, and then we are going to need a configurator, so we'll make one here. Super cheap, a little bit of iron, a little bit of steel, and osmium. Right, once you have the configurator, we can make a metallurgic infuser. I'm just using this so that I can make logistical pipes. They need a special thing that you need. Yeah, the basic conductor, I think that's the word for it. Anyway, and that you take osmium, you put it in the metallurgic infuser, and boom, Now this may look a little bit scary if it's an early game, but this is probably the cheapest mechanism contraption or machine in the game. Just takes a little bit of redstone and some osmium. This thing eats up redstone and I don't have much of it, so hopefully 2 is enough. And that should make us about, I think, 16 logistical pipes, which is perfect for what we need right now. Yeah, there we go. So there we got the pipes, and now we need the fluid pipes, and that should be okay. I'm going to give this a nice little border, following my design from creative exactly. You know, very, very dedicated yet to producing the most advanced machines. I'm kidding, this is very simple. Anyway, so here we just need a superheating element. A superheating element you put underneath the crucible and it cooks stone into lava at a rate of, I believe, 60x, which is much, much faster than our little netherrack setup we had with the fire. I think that's like 5x or so. So that's much quicker, 12 times quicker. See guys, my math is getting much better. Right, and once we have the superheating element, we can place that down. And we'll just put it over here like so. And then you put the crucible down and we'll pipe the netherrack coming from the barrel into the crucible, and we'll put the magmatic generator there. And then finally we'll pipe the lava into the magmatic generator, configure so that the lava pumps, and then we have power. Now all we need to do is pop the basic energy cube right there and then pipe it into the machine. And now as we use power from the energy cube, it'll be refilled by the magmatic generator. Although we need to keep in mind that the rates right now are pretty awful, but that's okay because we're going to upgrade it as basically as soon as possible. Let's just clean this up a little bit and make it a bit nicer. I think we'll make this too wide frame here. We'll put glass there like so, and then we'll put the frame down on this side, which I think will look a little bit better. There we go. Just break this. Okay, pop the glass down. I'm gonna run out of glass most likely, which is okay. We'll go make some more, even though I have a bad habit of throwing stuff from my inventory into the void, which I'm pretty sure I do with the leftover glass here, and then I end up needing glass like right afterwards, so it's quite embarrassing. But what can you do, man? You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's just finish off this machine. So this will be our basic power source for now. It is a little bit annoying that we have to pipe power across the entire base, which will be the case for the time being until we can really get flux plugs and flux points going for us. Those are very expensive to make those, so it'll be a more late game thing. So for now, I think we'll get started on making the flux hammer and the flux sieve. These are basically automatic hammers and automatic sieves. And if you don't want to manually sieve for the rest of the game, then these are good early game, or not early game, I'd say like mid game way to produce resources. So there we go, got the hammer and the sieve. And we'll just put another stone block generator. This one will be cobblestone, however, because we want to break down cobble into gravel, and then the gravel will be served automatically, which is very, very handy. There we go, pop that down there, and it's genning quite fast because this is the copper variant, which is amazing. And then we'll just pop a platform down here and put the sieve down with the hammer like so, and we'll just pipe it into the hammer like that. And this will need power as well, so we need to grab our cables and whatnot. And we also need the configurator. Yes, of course, can't do nothing with mechanism without a configurator. So there, it'll pipe out. You do need to make sure that it's getting power, else this machine just won't work. It is a electric machine after all. So you can configure the machine to output there like so, and there we go. Let's just wait. It needs an output, so what we'll do is we'll put the sieve on this, but you need to configure it with the hammer. And then you put the sieve down, and then it will detect that as an output, and you'll know your machine's working when you get a tick. There you go. So now we need to set up this. It's feeding its gravel. So now we need to connect some form of chest and power. So what we'll do is we'll just put a chest next to it like so. And nope. Let's try that. Never mind. Put that there. Put a chest down. It joins the hammer and the skeleton and the spider and the creeper in the void. Cheers, mate. Okay, let's wait to see if we get a tick now. We just need to make sure there's a mesh in there, else it won't work. Boom, machine is working. So those rates will be pretty awful for now unless you make an upgrade, which is what I'm busy with now. Can I also just add, this upgrade recipe is awful and they need to fix it. And there we go, we got some upgrades. The quest reward gives you 2 more extras, so now we have 3 diamond upgrades. I'll put 1 in the hammer for now, and then I'll put 2 in the sieve. Or we put 2 in the hammer and 1 in the sieve. Either way. Right, and I think we've completed everything that we set out to do today. I'm super happy with that. And I think we'll leave it there for this video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. Click the notifications as well, because I release these videos fairly often, so I'm hoping to have the next episode out soon. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.